Well, hello everyone. I hope this is live. I can't actually tell. We're having some technical difficulties today. I'm so sorry this is a little bit late coming to you today. We've been having some technical difficulties, as I was saying. There's some issues with our restream and some issues with just connecting up everything so that we're able to do this both on Facebook and on YouTube for you. So we're working on it. We're growing. If you're a master at streaming, get in touch. Let me know. Help me figure this out. All right, let's get down to business. Let's get the glasses off. Let's get ready to go. So today I want to welcome you to another live Wednesday training here at Three Pines Leadership. So today we're going to be jumping into one of my big courses that I do. This is the Dynamic Leader course. Today we're going to be covering the 11 principles of dynamic leadership. So if you're looking to become a bigger, better leader in your community, this is the course for you. All right, so let's see if I have any other announcements on here. Well, yeah, let's go over the schedule so that you get what's going on for the rest of the month. Each month I'll release a new schedule, so you'll see what's going on. So the schedule for this session, for this month, is last week we did the Freedom Formula. This week we are diving into Dynamic Leader, and next week we're going to pick up where we left off last week on the Freedom Formula with the Freedom Wheel. So that's part 2. And then we will finish off this month with a SMART Goals course. So if you want in on any of those, make sure that you're subscribed to our Facebook, our Instagram, our YouTube channel, our newsletter, and all of that, because who knows where we're going to be streaming this time. So you can check us out. It's kind of like Mystery Wednesday right now, figuring out where we are streaming right now. But we are supposed to be sending right now to our YouTube channel, so hopefully you are on our YouTube watching this. Otherwise, I'll be uploading this to our Facebook so that everyone can get a hold of this session. All right, so let's dive into today's session. All right, here we go. Let's dive into the computer. Today, we're talking about the dynamic leader. So what is a leader? Before we get into the nitty-gritty of effective leadership, let's ensure that we're all on the same page regarding what a leader actually is. There are 1,000 definitions of leadership, and we want to make sure that we're all speaking the same language. Generally speaking, a leader is someone who motivates others to act towards achieving a common goal. A leader is able to rally people around a cause and move them to take action towards achieving a particular objective. A good leader inspires people to do something bigger than themselves, to work together to accomplish key objectives, to pool their strengths and resources to achieve great things. A good leader helps everyone become the absolute best version of themselves. Winston Churchill, he's known for inspiring the people of England to keep fighting in World War II, and that's a great example of leadership. Thanks to his inspirational leadership, the people of England made great sacrifices to their fight against the evil Nazi regime. A leader is different than an organizer. So an organizer gathers resources and deploys them in the most effective manner possible. Yeah, an organizer brings people together, but they don't inspire them to take big, bold action. Organizers are about efficiency and process, while leaders are about vision. Now, what characterizes a good leader? Well, there's a lot. So let's go over the 7 high-level characteristics. So first, we have vision. An effective leader has a clear vision of where they want to go and how they're going to get there. They understand that where they currently are and are crystal clear on what it's going to take to get them to where they want to be. This leader must be able to communicate this vision clearly to those who follow him if they want to have success in any aspect. The next thing is motivation. The effective leader is highly skilled at motivating others. They know what makes people tick and are able to tap into those emotional triggers. through their words and actions, they're able to motivate them to do things that maybe they wouldn't do otherwise. Next, we have service. The best leaders are those who serve their followers. And next, we have empathy. A leader must be able to place themselves in the shoes of others. If they want to create consensus among their team, they must be able to understand the concerns of others and effectively respond to those concerns. The highly effective leader is creative when it comes to achieving their outcomes. They use their imagination to look beyond what is directly in front of them to see what's truly possible. They're able to see how they can effectively leverage their skills of their followers to the maximum good. The best leaders demand the best of their teams. They don't settle for mediocre results or half-hearted efforts. Rather than a set example of a passionate work for their team, they expect their team to follow their example. A leader must be able to manage those who follow him. Pretty simple. None of these characteristics on their own makes for a good leader. The best leaders possess a combination of some, if not all, of these characteristics. They are able to be both creative and demanding at the same time, and they can manage effectively while also expressing empathy for their team members. They can provide vision while serving their followers at the same time. It's important to understand that leadership isn't about having a particular position, title, or particular attributes. Just because you're an executive doesn't mean you're a leader. Having the corner office doesn't mean you're good at leadership. Having a charismatic personality doesn't make you a leader. The good news, though, is that leadership is not something you're born with. Rather, it's something you learn over time through practice. And you can become a better leader than you currently are. It's possible. No matter how bad of a leader you are now, you can always get better. If you're not an effective leader now, you can grow and become that effective leader. That's what this workshop is all about. And in this training, we're going to lay out the 7 principles of highly effective leadership. By implementing these principles in your own life, you can become a powerful, passionate, and inspirational leader. And you can help others become the best version of themselves and achieve great things. You can lead people to accomplish your vision. So are you ready to dive in? Let's get started. First, we have the motivated leader, the self-motivated leader. So first and foremost, a leader is self-motivated. So unlike followers who must be told what to do, a leader is highly self-driven and self-motivated. We call them self-problem solvers. A leader is out in front of the crowd, and they're moving towards their own initiative, taking action without being told what to do. A leader must be able to drive things forward without the approval or permission of others. They must have the innate desire to make change happen, even when they can't see exactly how that's going to happen. A leader isn't primarily motivated by salary or social perks, and they have a fire within them, a powerful desire to make good change happen. Now, how can you grow in self-motivation? The primary way is by choosing a goal or a set of goals that resonates with you deeply and stirs up with you a sense of wanting to accomplish great things. The primary way is by choosing a goal or a set of goals that resonates with you deeply and stirs up a want or a need to accomplish these great things. And think about your own life and career. What sorts of things do you really truly want to accomplish? What goals set you on fire and make you want to take massive action? What objectives would you be willing to sacrifice for? These are the kinds of things that create motivation. Focus your attention on them. Write them down. Rehearse them again and again. The more you're focused on your big, audacious goals, the more you'll be motivated to achieve them. If your goals involve others, you'll also be motivated to get them on board with your goals. Next, we have the confident leader. And if you want to follow people, if you want people to follow you, it's absolutely essential that you be confident in both your overall vision and the approach you take to making that vision a reality. What exactly is confidence? Well, it's an inner belief that you have the ability to achieve what you have set out to do. It's the personal assurance that you can accomplish whatever you put your mind to. It's the feeling that nothing is too big or too challenging for you. But isn't confidence something you're born with? Well, no, not necessarily. Confidence is born out of action. In other words, the more action you take, the more overall success you will have. The more success you will have, the more confident you'll feel, which will lead you to take more action. This leads to more confidence, and the positive cycle continues. Yes, there will be times that you will fail. That's the reality. There will be times when your ideas don't pan out and your best efforts will fall flat, but there will be times when even your best laid plans go to pieces. And in those moments, you'll be tempted to give up. Your confidence will flag, and you may even doubt your ability to accomplish things. Don't give in to that temptation. If you want to be a confident leader, it's absolutely critical that you keep taking action, moving forward, and striving for your goals. It's the courage to continue taking action that makes for a great self-confident leader. The best leaders are inherently confident, and they're confident because they're consistently taking action. Next, we have the accountable leader. And if you want to be a highly effective leader, you must hold yourself accountable for both your actions and the outcomes that those outcomes produce. The outcomes that those actions produce. My bad. When things go well, you take appropriate credit and give credit to your team, of course. And when things don't go well, you take all the blame. You are the leader of the team, and therefore, essentially, everything ultimately falls on you. The opposite of the accountable leader is the victim leader. The victim leader blames everyone and everything else for their failures. They refuse to believe that their actions could result in problems, so that they constantly blame problems on others. And they must take credit for success, but they'll certainly never accept blame for failure. And if you're going to be a powerful, compelling leader, you must accept 100% responsibility for the outcomes of your actions. You must take decisive action to influence specific outcomes and then embrace those outcomes, whatever they may be. If you don't hold yourself accountable as a leader, how can you expect to hold others accountable? If you aren't willing to set a high bar for yourself, how can you set a high bar for those on your team? The reality is that your followers will never rise higher than you. They will look to you to follow your example. And if they see you consistently blaming others and refusing to be accountable, they'll do the same thing. Work hard to hold yourself accountable, and your team will do the same. Next, we have the passionate leader. And if you don't have a passion for the job in front of you, you'll never be an effective leader. The best leaders have a fire in their bones. They are so passionate about what they're doing, they're willing to work long hours to accomplish those goals. Passion is infectious, bottom line. When you as the leader are passionate about reaching your objectives, it causes others to be passionate too. If you're not passionate about the job before you, it means one of two things. First, it could mean that you're doing the wrong job. It's hard to be passionate about a job when you really don't care about it. If you have zero passion for your job, it's a signal that you're probably in the wrong passion. You're probably in the wrong position too, and maybe better served elsewhere. Second, it means that you haven't set ambitious enough goals for yourself. It's difficult to be passionate about small, mediocre goals. It's hard to care about goals that don't really add up to much personal or professional in your life. On the other hand, big, audacious goals are much more motivating. They allow you to wake up each morning with a sense of purpose and drive. They push you to strive to achieve great things. If you're not feeling passionate, maybe you need to set bigger goals for yourself. Ultimately, passion flows out of vision. So if you have a clear vision of what you want to accomplish, you can see the great good that it will accomplish, you'll be passionate. If, on the other hand, your vision is blurry and you're not sure of what you actually want to accomplish, you won't be passionate at all. You'll very easily be distracted and fall off the tracks. Next on the docket, we have the courageous leader. There are few things a leader needs more than courage. The decisions you make as a leader will result in you being elevated and evaluated by others. People will criticize you from time to time, and sometimes you'll take action and it simply won't pan out. Courage keeps you going and confidently moving in the direction of your vision, even in the face of adversity. If you're not courageous as a leader, you simply won't do any of the things necessary to be a good leader. You won't take appropriate risks because you're afraid of missing the mark. You won't suggest new ideas because you're afraid they'll be shot down. And you won't take bold action because you might be judged by others. There will be times when you simply don't know what the outcome of a particular action will be. And in those moments, you'll be tempted to be afraid, to not act, and to hold back. In those moments when courage is needed more than ever, you'll need the courage to act boldly, regardless of the outcome. William Faulkner said it in this way: "You can't swim for new horizons until you have the courage to lose sight of the shore." Honestly, just let that sink in for a second. As a leader, there will be times when you lose sight of the shore, such as when you're launching a totally new initiative, or when you're introducing a new product that's unlike anything you've ever done before, or when you're trying to create a new team to tackle a new difficult project, or when you're suddenly assigned to work from home. And if you're going to achieve great things as a leader, you must have the courage to lose sight of that shore, to keep going when you're not sure exactly how things are going to work out. And if you display great courage in the face of adversity, people will follow you. They'll admire and be inspired by your courage, and they'll want to emulate you. Next, we have the leader with integrity. Integrity means always being consistent with your values. It means saying what you'll do and doing what you'll say. It means you'll have a strong moral value set and that you'll hold fast to those moral values in every situation. If you don't have integrity, your followers will quickly abandon you. They'll see that what you are saying is different than what you're doing, and that you don't have any particular moral guidance to your actions, that the ends always justifies the means. In other ways, you're two-faced. Stephen Covey said, "Moral authority comes from following universal and timeless principles like honesty, integrity, and treating people with respect." Do you want to have a sense of authority with those in your team? And do you want them to respect you? Do you want them to take you at your word? Do you want them to ask without grumbling? Do you want them to do what you ask without grumbling or arguing? Then be a person of integrity. There will be times when you're faced with ethical dilemmas. And in those moments, you have two options. You can either act with integrity and gain the respect of those under you, or you can act without integrity and lose the trust of your followers, which is the simple, easier way out. But it's not the right choice. Without integrity, those under you simply won't trust you. They won't have confidence that you'll do what you say. They won't be confident that you'll have their best interests in mind when the going gets tough. Rather, they'll worry that you're asking them to do something for selfish personal reasons rather than their own good and the good of the company or the good of the team. Next, we have the emotionally intelligent leader. The emotional intelligence is the ability to understand and manage both your own emotions and the emotions of those around you. It's the ability to understand why you're feeling a certain way in a particular situation and to understand why others might be feeling a particular way themselves. There will be many times when you find yourself in difficult, stressful, and emotionally laden situations. And in those moments, it's essential that you be able to understand why you're feeling a particular way and then respond appropriately. If you simply fly off the handle and explode emotionally, you'll lose the respect and the trust of those under you. You must be able to manage your emotions appropriately and handle emotionally difficult situations. In the same way, you must also be able to understand why others are feeling specific emotions. This skill, it's often called emotional IQ, allows you to see things through the eyes of others. It enables you to put yourself in someone else's shoes and experience the same emotions that they are. If you are unable to understand the emotions of others, you won't be able to effectively navigate highly emotional situations. You'll make decisions without considering the feelings of others, which can cause significant damage to your relationships. The best leaders are able to keep a close handle on their emotions and to help others manage their own volatile emotions. Next, we have the humble leader. Many people think that leaders must be proud, brash, and always right. In fact, the opposite is true. The best leaders are humble, they listen, and are willing to admit when they're wrong. Humility is one of the keys to great leadership. A proud leader is in danger of blind spots. They are convinced that they are always right. They're sure that their way is the best way, and they feel that they don't need to listen to the opinions of others. This, in my opinion, is a recipe for disaster. A humble leader, on the other hand, is set up for success. So what does humble leadership actually look like? It looks like listening. The humble leader listens to the opinions and feedback of others. They don't assume that their ideas are always the best. Asking for feedback. A humble leader asks those around him for feedback, constructive feedback. They realize that they don't know everything, and they need the valuable advice of others. Every leader makes mistakes. We have to understand this. The best, most humble leaders admit that they've made mistakes. This creates an environment where others feel like they too can admit their mistakes. A truly humble leader is respectful of others, and they value the insights and opinions of others and do everything they can to respect what they bring to the table. Humility is fundamental to success as a leader. Leaders who are humble thrive, while leaders who are proud ultimately falter. Next, we have the visionary leader. A leader moves people to take action, right? They look forward into the future. They see good outcomes, and then they help people move towards those good outcomes. They help get others from point A to point B. In other words, a leader has a vision. A leader doesn't merely organize people, resources, and efforts, although that's certainly necessary. They're able to peer into the future, see how certain actions will produce specific outcomes, and then motivate people to take those actions. A powerful vision has 4 specific elements. It captures the heart and imagination. So first and foremost, a leader's vision must be able to capture the hearts and imagination of their followers. Those who hear the vision for the future very much want to be part of it. A leader must be able to paint a vivid picture of where they want to go. They should be able to communicate the benefits of their vision in clear, concrete, and powerful ways. While it's essential that the vision stretch people, it must also be achievable. If it's clearly not achievable, then people won't want to be part of it. The leader who looks into the future and sees what's possible, they see a future that's better than the present, and they can move people towards that future. It's important to note that you won't be able to get others on board with your vision if you don't possess the qualities already mentioned. If you're not confident in your vision, people won't believe it's possible. If you're not passionate about your vision, people won't be excited to be part of it. And if you're not emotionally intelligent, you won't be able to effectively tap into people's emotions. Whenever possible, communicate your vision to those around you. And if you want to get them on board with your vision, it's important to communicate clearly and forcefully as much as possible. Regularly paint a picture of the good life that people will experience if your vision becomes a reality. Next, we have the disciplined leader. Discipline refers to being in complete control of oneself. A highly effective leader must be self-disciplined in all areas. Discipline should encompass every area of the leader's life, such as in their health. A leader knows that they must be in good health if they're going to effectively lead others. They discipline themselves to eat in healthy ways, to exercise, and to make other smart health-related decisions. So ask yourself these questions. Do you eat healthy foods? Do you regularly exercise? And do you get enough sufficient amounts of sleep? Time. Perhaps more than anything else, a leader must be disciplined with their time. They must be able to get things done efficiently, focus on the job in front of them, and make swift progress through their to-do list. It's easy to get sidetracked during the day, but the best leaders are able to maintain that focus. So ask yourself these questions. Do you allow yourself to be easily distracted during the day? Do you have specific goals that you're focused on achieving? And do you have a system for ensuring that you make progress on your to-do list? Next, we have vision. The leader is disciplined to stay focused on their vision. They don't let other shiny objects distract them from their ultimate purpose and vision. They ensure that they and those who follow them stay laser focused on getting the right things done all the time. So ask yourself these questions. Do you have a single-minded focus on your overall vision? Do you allow yourself to become easily distracted from your most important tasks? And do you consistently remind yourself and your followers of your vision? Jim Rohn used to say, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So in other words, you'll never achieve your highest and greatest goals if you're not disciplined. If, on the other hand, you're able to hold yourself to the highest standards, you'll achieve success beyond your wildest dreams. Next, we have the communicating leader, or the leader who communicates. The greatest leaders, the ones who achieve the most, the ones who inspire the most people, are those who communicate clearly, powerfully, and effectively. Consider the great leaders throughout history, like Winston Churchill, JFK, Nelson Mandela. What do they have in common? They have the ability to communicate their vision and passion with passion, zeal, clarity, and force. They are all able to inspire people to become bigger and better versions of themselves. The greatest leaders work exceptionally hard to ensure that their communications are clear, concise, and effective, and highly motivating. Consider the classic speech, the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln. It's only 272 words long, and it only took him a few minutes to deliver it, and yet, because he took a significant amount of time to shape and clarify it, it was one of the most powerful speeches ever given. Even to this day, it's still highly emotional and motivating. How can you ensure that your communications are both clear and powerful? Consider using the 7 C's of communication. Clear. Every aspect of your communications must be clear, both to you and to your audience. It must be complete. Your communication should include as much relevant information as possible so the listener can get a complete picture. It must be concise. Your sentences, paragraphs, and main points should all be appropriately concise. It must be concrete. Whenever possible, use concrete language rather than abstract language. Be courteous. Your communications should be courteous to your audience, considering both their feelings and their viewpoints. Should be correct. Each statement in your communications should be correct. Considerate. Your communications are considerate of how your audience thinks and presents information in ways that are relevant and helpful to them. The greatest leaders take the necessary time to craft their communications so that they are as powerful and impactful as possible. They don't rush things because they realize that few things are more powerful than their words. If you want to be a great leader, work hard to strengthen your communication skills. Without the ability to communicate clearly, you simply can't move people from point A to point B. You won't be able to paint a vivid picture of your vision, and you won't be able to inspire others to take great action. So know, go, and show the way. John C. Maxwell said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." This is the essence of leadership. A leader has a vision and can see the way to go. A leader is self-motivated, self-disciplined, passionate, and courageous enough to do the hard work necessary to make their vision a reality. A leader constantly communicates their visions to others, showing them the way to go. We covered a lot of ground in this workshop. The good news is that you can grow from all of these areas. You can become an effective leader. The more you focus on growing in these areas, the better you'll become as a leader, and the more people will want to follow you. As more people follow you, you'll have more opportunities to grow as a leader. It's a powerful cycle that can cause you to grow by leaps and bounds. So don't wait any longer. Start leading today. People are waiting to follow you. So thank you so much for being part of this workshop. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on today. So remember that our schedule coming up for the rest of this month, next week we're going to be doing the Freedom Wheel. So that's part 2 of our Freedom Formula. And we're also going to be doing our SMART Goals course at the end of the month. So because we're having all those technical difficulties, make sure that you're subscribed to our Facebook channel, you're subscribed to our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, our Instagram, our newsletter, our mailing list, all of that stuff, so that you are first informed of when we actually go live, where we are. But in the meantime, if you're not, then you're going to have to enjoy this amazing scavenger hunt of where are we streaming. I'm going to try and get some more lives in during the week, so keep your eyes out for that. So until next time, everyone, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you definitely here next week for our Freedom Wheel, where we'll dive into a more interactive activity, where we'll figure out how to have the smoothest ride to our dream life. So until then, everyone, I will see you then. Be excellent to each other. I love you.